There are many things you need to know when playing the game of badminton. When playing the game of singles, a court must be 44 feet long and 17 feet wide. When playing doubles, the court must be 44 feet long and 20 feet wide. The average height of a badminton net is 5 feet. Shuttlecocks, also called birdies, are most commonly plastic with a rubber base or feathers with a cork base. The rackets are usually made of a lightweight material such as wood, plastic, or metal. The objective of the game is to hit the birdie back and forth over the net without it letting it fall on your side of the court. There are a few rules of the game of badminton. For example, a player may not touch the net with a racket or their body. Also, a birdie cannot rest on the racket or be carried in any way. A player cannot reach over or under the net to hit the birdie. To find the velocity of the birdie, we use the formula velocity equals distance over time. To find the distance, we measured the length between Stephanie and Rebecca, each standing on opposite sides of the court. The distance turned out to equal 0.59 meters. To find out the time, we used a timer to measure how long it took the birdie to get from one side of the court to the other, measuring from when it hit Stephanie's racket to when it hit Becca's. The time turned out to be 1.5 seconds. By using the equation, velocity turns out to equal 0.39 meters per second. Momentum is the measure of motion that an object has. It is transferred to other objects via collisions, and direction is important.
On a badminton racket, there is something called the sweet spot, where the strings are more flexible towards the middle of the racket. The sweet spot decreases the momentum of the shuttlecock, but the strings in the middle absorb more of the shock of impact, therefore increasing the player's control and reducing the risk of injury. But if you hit the shuttlecock on the outside strings of the racket, it increases the momentum and your arm absorbs the shock waves.
To find the momentum, we use the formula momentum equals mass times velocity. The mass of the birdie is equal to 0.001 kilograms, and we found the velocity earlier. When multiplied together, the momentum equals 0.00039 kilograms times meters per second. A force is a push or a pull exerted on an object having magnitude and direction. Newton's second law states that the acceleration of an object equals the net force on that object divided by its mass. Therefore, the larger the force, the greater the acceleration. In badminton, the force exerted by the player using the racket, pushing the shuttlecock over the net, is equal to its acceleration. To find the force, we use the equation force equals mass times gravity. By adding Becca's mass and the birdie's mass, the total mass turns out to equal 61.6 kilograms. The acceleration of gravity is equal to 9.8 meters per second squared. When 61.6 kilograms is multiplied by 9.8 meters per second squared, the force turns out to equal 603.7 Newton. Power is how fast work is done, and work is how energy is changed or transferred. In badminton, power is a necessary component to play the game. Power is exerted on the shuttlecock every time it is hit with a racket. The faster the player swings the racket, the more power the shuttlecock will have. To find the power, we use the equation power equals force times distance over time. By using the values we found earlier in the velocity and force formulas, we easily plugged in the numbers for force, distance, and time. By using the formula, we found the power to equal 237.5 watts. The mechanical advantage is the ratio of resistance force to effort force. The effort force is the force you exert on the machine, and the resistance force is the force exerted by the machine. To find the mechanical advantage, you use the formula mechanical advantage equals resistance force over effort force. In badminton, the racket is the resistance force and the player is the effort force.